Hello and welcome to Leash Dad's podcast. That's Justin.
That's Jared.
Tonight we are two leash dads that get together to discuss our everyday life while chained to our parental responsibilities. And tonight's topic is the current state of affairs in our lovely country we are living in right now.
Current state of affairs in lovely country we're living in. What? That's more like the economy blows the parents in the wrong direction.
Yeah. Well, that's part of it for sure. So, how's your week been, man? I'm drained.
Okay, so you're drained. You seem like you've been having a hard time. I don't know. It's been a while, that's for sure. No, I have. I've been pretty good actually. I've taken a lifestyle change.
Oh, do explain.
I don't even think I remember talking about this, but a lifestyle change ever since I've been to my doctor. I talked about having like shakiness in my hands, and there's a term. It's like some sort of like tremor, but it's very noticeable when I'm holding instruments while working. So like I'll be like this. Like you may not see it right now, or you could see a little bit. But when I'm in a patient, like working on a patient and everything, I've got the instrument and it's like this. It's like really bad. So, I discussed this with my boss, and because he had noticed it too, and he's like, "Well, how much caffeine do you have?" He's like, "Well, what if have you tried cutting caffeine?" I'm like, "No, I haven't." He's like, "Try that." I was like, "Oh, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I try to, my typical day has been going through 2 cans of Celsius, so that's like 400 milligrams of caffeine in a day, which yes, that's excessive. But then I think about it at the same time too, and I go, how many cans of soda did I used to drink, or how many bottles of soda was I drinking
while you were doing the shaking?
Yeah, or like making it, noticing the shaking and everything, and I'm like, I don't think 400 is really like. I think the 2 cans of Celsius is very equivalent to the amount of soda I was taking in on a daily basis. Because I mean, if you think of it, okay, let's see. I'm gonna look this up right now just because I'm actually curious. Caffeine.
Yeah, while he looks that up, I mean,
55
definitely
milligrams of caffeine in like a 12-ounce soda.
Right, depending on the soda.
Well, for a Mountain Dew, yeah.
Yeah,
and that's kind of like what I was most commonly drinking. But if you think of it in like a 16-ounce can, you're probably taking about 67 or 60, 63 or whatever, something like that. But now I had multiple cans of that. Yeah. So, I mean, 2 cans is about 110 milligrams. Whoop-de-doo, okay? I'm still taking 4 times the amount of caffeine from the Celsius. However, I'm also probably drinking a shit ton more soda throughout the day, too. So, I could be having like that 6 to 7 cans of soda, which would make almost the equivalent of the 2 cans.
Why so much?
I don't know. Caffeine's always been in my life. Right?
So you drink the soda because of the caffeine content?
Well, I mean, I drink it because I enjoy it, but I never really thought about it in the sense of the caffeine content. I just drank it to drink it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, there is that fact like when you're in college or high school and you want to stay up, so you're drinking soda. And you don't really think about it as the caffeine. You think about the sugar to help you get hyper and whatnot. But I don't think, to me, the caffeine more or less became just a natural thing. You know how you get to that point where you just rely on it?
Oh, yeah.
Or it becomes, you don't really necessarily see it. Let's say, for example, if you take a caffeine pill or one
Which
of those.
I have.
Yep, and I have too. But that it gives you such a shot of like caffeine, right, to get you going,
right,
or whatnot. But to me, it almost had basically no effect because of how much caffeine I've already had in my, high school was drinking sodas left and right, college still drinking sodas left and right, or drinking energy drinks left and right. So it's like the caffeine is just at a neutral state, or had very, the diminishing returns was non-existent, or like so high up it didn't matter. You drink one, you take the drink, it's like, okay, well, here's this. You rely on a little more, a little more, a little more, and the effects get lesser and lesser as it goes on. So, yeah. So I don't know. I have been, but to that point of the caffeine and everything, I have been caffeine free now for, it'll be 2 weeks by the time we get this aired.
Wow, that's good, man.
Yeah. And if you want to know if I've had any side effects or any withdrawal symptoms, no. No withdrawal symptoms yet. So that makes me worried if I'm still getting caffeine out of my system, or if it's because I made the right choice in doing the lifestyle change and drinking a shit ton of water. And by the way, yes, this is Mio Energy, like flavored water. It is Mio water, but there is no caffeine in it. I looked it up on the little container, and it says 0 gram or 0 milligrams of caffeine. So
Is
I
there
actually
sugar?
it's just basically sugar, yeah, or whatever. So, but I looked it up or looked at the container because I freaked out a little bit. I'm like, oh shit, it's Mio Energy. It's gonna have caffeine in it because I'm like, okay, oh, I haven't really felt anything or any withdrawals. And then I looked it up. I'm like, oh, thank the Lord, because I'm like, my goal is to have no caffeine right now. See if I can help that, and then uh, if the tremors do go down, or if I'm just gonna have to do something else like take beta blockers. So,
I don't think you're gonna have any noticeable like withdrawals. You might have headaches within like the next week or so, but if it's
well,
been 2 weeks and you haven't had headaches,
that's the most noticeable withdrawal is the headaches.
yeah, then you should be okay. I know when I tried cutting out caffeine, oh shit, Jesus, it had to be like 10 years ago probably, and
Mm-hmm.
I went to the point where I was even just stopping caffeine. I mean, or stopping coffee, and I don't know why, but I just tried it out. Um, the and at the same time, I wasn't watching my diet, so I was eating freaking carbs a lot and hardly any protein throughout the day. So I really started noticing my
Mm-hmm.
sluggishness and just said, "Screw it, I'm going back to coffee."
Yeah,
But now my wife and I are only having 1 cup a day,
that's pretty
trying to
solid.
do 1 cup a day.
Yeah, I've gone from, like I said, I've gone from caffeine beverages to basically, well, let's just say this is my third bottle today. Um, I will
Good
drink
for
two.
you.
I will drink two of these at work. Two full bottles, which is 32 ounces, by the way. So I'm having 64 ounces
Nice.
at work, and this is my third one. I probably won't finish it today. I'll take it upstairs with me, uh, or take it upstairs at nighttime and whatnot, and drink it a little bit, and then I'll just refill it in the morning and whatnot. But yeah, I normally, yeah, I've gone to a lot of water. Have I been very, for all of you who are questioning? Yes, I've been tempted to go back to caffeine, or I've got Celsius all around. Example right here, right next to me, in a little fridge air. But I have not taken a sip of any caffeinated beverage
Well,
since
that's good. I'm proud of you,
yeah,
man. That's awesome.
I'm proud of myself
Uh,
too.
the stupidest thing that I think, especially with you're quitting caffeine and you have it around the house. I'm quitting drinking just because I don't like the way it makes me feel anymore. But yet I still have an asinine amount of booze in my house that I don't want to throw away because it's like literally probably like $200 worth of booze in my
Yeah.
house.
Like, what if you decide one day you just wanted to have one little drink, even though you want to quit? What if you decide, okay, it's okay to have one drink, right?
Right, and that's kind of what I told my wife when I actually talked about it with her. I said it's not that I want to stop forever. It's just that I want to maybe drink maybe 4 or 5 times a year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to go to waste. I'll make sure that I have my recovery time,
Yeah.
away from the office.
And
So
hopefully you're not actually drinking heavily, or if you are drinking
no,
heavily,
no,
or if you decide you're doing it on like a special occasion, like maybe a birthday party or some sort of celebration or whatever.
Well,
I did
birthday
that.
for sure.
I did that one time recently when I don't remember where it was. One of my friends had a birthday, so we drank, and there was something more recent.
Easter.
Maybe.
I was actually just kidding. I didn't.
No, it wasn't Easter. What was it? It was like last week.
I don't know, man.
I don't remember. I feel like there was a decent consumption of alcohol on my part. Um, but it is what it is. Oh, it was a wedding. I was at a wedding. That's what it was. I was at my cousin's wedding. Had a decent amount of alcohol. Um, stuck with like screwdrivers or vodka lemonades, um, some beers. So stuck with the lining kugels. But yeah, that's where I had the consumption of alcohol, and at first I was hesitant because I wanted to mix it with soda. I'm like, that'll be fine, but no, the soda has the caffeine still. Um, so I was like, nope. But they had orange juice, they had lemonade, so I'm like, okay, I can deal with that.
Oh, for sure. I mean, there's tons of mixers. You tonic and
Well, yeah,
cranberry juice and
they had cranberry juice too, but I'm just like, I'll wait a little bit. Let the temptation of the soda aspect go away, and then do it with just like other drinks.
yeah.
So I didn't want to force myself and whatever. But well, the wedding was good too. I was a little concerned at first about it because it's my cousin who, at first, like a long time ago when we were kids and everything and growing up, he's like, I'm never getting married. I don't want to have children, blah, 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 blah. And shit you not, he's the third cousin out of my family to get married. I'm the first. One of our other cousins followed a couple of years down the road, and now him. So,
It's funny how that works, huh? Isn't it?
kind of. But yeah, it's just funny how it slowly falls suit. I mean, the cousin that got married between us, him and his wife, had been in a relationship since like middle school, grade school. Like they knew each other for a very long time, and they were together for a very long time. Like they were middle school sweethearts.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Whatever, it works for them.
Hey, to each their own.
Yeah,
Whatever.
exactly. You don't have to. You don't have to go around dating other people just to find the right one. You could find the right one right away, and that's just super lucky. But you make it work out, hopefully. So yeah, well, that's my week. Well, that's not really my week. That's just kind of that's the biggest thing, like biggest life event going on in my life right now. The fact that I've cut caffeine out like cold turkey, and honestly, I think it's like very very hard. Um,
It is.
but I'm giving it before I reach out to my doctor again. I'm giving it till Saturday here, or this past Saturday, really, for all those that are listening to it when it airs. For April 13th is when I'll be on my 2 weeks. Um, so I'm gonna see how it goes and whatnot, and if it does help or doesn't help, I'm gonna reach out to my doctor and see if beta blockers is gonna be good. And she said um, that we could like start possibly like a low dose of beta blockers if the tremors don't really stop, because I mean, she's suggested some other ideas too, like holding or supporting my arm and elbow. But when I'm at the chair, there's not really any kind of support or way for me to actually support unless I lean on them, and that would make them uncomfortable. But that would also, like, here, have my shoulder in your shoulder.
Could you get your shoulder off my fucking chest?
Yeah. It's just not ideal when I'm right behind their head, basically, right?
Right.
If I was at the side of them, maybe I'd say, "Hey, can I use your body to support my elbow?"
We're gonna get real close and personal here. Just hang on, open your mouth, and get cozy.
If you feel something poking you, it's not my weenus.
I know I have a roll of quarters, in my pocket.
Yep, it's just a roll of quarters. Don't worry, they're excited to see you.
Well, that's great. That's where I'm glad you're making some big changes, and you're not scared to do it.
Oh, it's just one of those things. It's like, am I scared to do it? I was, but I just took the leap. Sometimes you just gotta
You
take the
gotta.
leap if you're scared to do it.
Yep.
So, yeah. What about you? I know you said you were exhausted. So, has it just been like work is exhausting, or kind of guide us through here so we can understand where you're coming from?
Well, yeah. I mean, work is just a nonstop nightmare. It's I can't go into it too much because I don't know who listens. But and then also just the usual weekday, end work, do dish, cook dinner, do dishes, and all that stuff, and get the house kind of tidied up. And there's bath nights and everything else. So
Mm.
it's just the usual routine. And sleeping has been I've been dreaming a lot. Like last night, I was telling my wife, I had this weird dream. Henry Cavill was trying to talk to me, and it turns out he was actually Superman, and his powers were diminished, and I had to get him out to outer space because he needed the sun. And then there was like a big storm with a tornado. It was like, what the hell? So sleep has just been crazy. I don't know what the hell's going
At
on there.
least you had some of those types of dreams. Heck, you want to know my last dream?
What? Calf,
Me?
you looking at a cup of
No,
coffee?
no, me telling my wife I wanted another freaking child.
Oh, that's not a dream. That's a nightmare. Just kidding. I don't think it can happen.
Just because they get something done doesn't mean it can't happen. Just because they get a
Yeah, true.
hysterectomy doesn't mean it can't happen. But I don't want it to happen.
Yeah, but no,
I don't
I
know
mean,
why I
I
was
don't know.
dreaming of it. It's a weird one, but I mean, yours is just as weird. You have to take freaking Superman to the sun to get him revived or powered up again. The fuck did Lex Luthor stab him with kryptonite?
I don't know what happened to him. I
Oh,
don't know.
the fine details weren't there.
Yeah, no, it was just I remember like vividly discussing Henry Cavill and oh shit, he's actually
I
Superman
thought it
and
was Seville.
he's dying.
Was it Cavill or Seville?
I don't actually know. Comment, people, folks, comment, please. Is it? Well, how do you pronounce this dude's name?
Henry fucking Cavill. I don't know. British actor. I don't even think it says. Fuck, the one time I wanted to pronounce something, it's not going to show me a pronunciation. Yeah, anyways. Not a big
Yeah,
deal. Okay,
no.
so
So
you've had weird dreams, which is a good thing.
yeah,
I mean,
not sleeping all that well, and just I'm getting outside with this beautiful weather we've been having, just soaking up the sun. Maybe that's taken out of me. I don't know, but I need vitamin D. I even moved my office upstairs to get some sun, not down in this dungeon, and it helped. It actually helps. It helps my
yeah,
mood throughout the day. But at night, I'm just exhausted, as well as I should be, because that's when we should be sleeping.
exactly. Yeah, and it's funny you say you've been exhausted. I've been going to bed fairly early. Like I'm talking, I'd be going to bed about 9:30 or up to bed by like 9:40,
I would do
passing out by
that,
like
but since
10:30.
right, I would do that, but since my wife gets home at like 10:30, 11 o'clock, I like to stay up with her and hang out with her for a little bit and then go to
So,
bed. But
so you guys kind of wind down together.
yeah, yeah. So we wind down together, and then but on the nights that she isn't working, we go to bed at 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
And I'd be going to bed at 9 if I had my way, but it's just the way things are right now. It's not going to happen.
I get it. I get it. Been there, done that. I mean, when my wife's not home because she works overnights, right? I'll honestly go upstairs, put my daughter to bed, and then I'll watch TV for a little bit, and eventually I'll just turn some background noise on and just fall asleep. Like I'll watch a couple episodes of Big Bang and be like, okay, I'm getting tired. Take my glasses off, and then turn on like a Twitch stream and just fall asleep to the background noise and set a sleep timer on the TV so it doesn't stay on all
Yeah,
night. Because I
yeah,
mean,
you got to do that.
at first it's like I've left it up or left the TV on without a sleep timer, and then I'll wake up in the middle of the night and go and turn it off and everything. So it's like, yeah, I just turn on the sleep timer. It'll turn everything off for me. It's like, okay, we're good. I don't care anymore. So it's nice, but you know, so you're able to wind down a little bit with your wife when she comes home from work, which is a nice thing too. Um, I don't necessarily. I mean, I'll do that every now and then, or like if Sam is home and we'll go upstairs, I'll still be the one that usually falls asleep first. But we're in bed together, right? So we're able
Yeah.
to kind of just wind down, anyways. She usually winds down by reading something on her phone or just scrolling through Facebook. I started picking up reading again, and I'm not talking like the manga that I have all around the house. I've started reading. I don't know if you're familiar with this series at all, the Redwall series by Brian Jacques.
What genre is it?
Fiction,
Okay.
fantasy, basically. He uh, he writes about, so Redwall itself is really about, or the series. Um, it's about like ferrets, mice, rats, badgers. It's all animals in this world, and they're all kind of like, um, one of the main areas is called Moss Flower, where like the mice and everything kind of live and whatnot. And they break it down. And Redwall is like the very first book. And it's about a mouse warrior, or a mouse that wants to become like a warrior. Um, it's a very long book, and it's like, when I say long, I mean the text or the print is tiny, um, and it's a smaller size book, but it's thick. So I read those back in fifth grade,
Oh,
or
okay.
some of them. So I read them back in fifth grade and everything. But now I'm coming back to them because I have them here at my house, and I was like, oh, I want to read these again. So rather than listening to like an audiobook, but yeah. So I started reading again. It's very interesting, and then yeah, it's been fun. But what about the economy? Because that's what
Dude, I am so sick of going to the damn store and spending $200 on like maybe 15 items. And
$200
they're
on
not
15
even.
items. Are you buying bulk or what?
No, no, I'm not. It's getting better now. Ooh, hey, youngest is pretty much potty trained now.
Nice, that's good.
Yeah, yeah.
Proud daddy moment right
So no
there.
diapers at $40 a box. What?
Just said proud daddy moment right there.
Yes, very proud daddy moment. She picked it up. It took a little bit of convincing, but you just got to connect with her and just this is what it has to be now, and you're gonna do
Is
it.
she in diapers during the night though, or like pull ups?
mm, no, I I think we should, but she says she doesn't want to, and I get that. We have potty training pants, so it's not like she makes a complete mess out of her bed, but or our bed, sorry. Um, but no, anyway, so I'm not really going to Costco, and for that reason, mainly is that once you go to Costco, your bill is it's magic if it's under $300.
Jesus,
So we can't really afford that either, even though it would kind of make a little bit more sense.
I think it's magic if your bill isn't under three. If you're, it's magic if the bill is under $300 wherever you go. Like we'll go to
Yeah,
Walmart, we'll order through Walmart and have it delivered to us, and it's probably still about $300-400. Now, granted, we're doing like every couple months or something like that, but then we'll also get some groceries here and there, and it's probably still about $100-200.
yeah. Like it's so stupid because we've been going through this inflation for probably a year and a half to 2 years now, and our paychecks are no different, and taxes no different. In fact, they changed the W-4 status now, where if you actually claim your dependents on the W-4, you you get less take you get obviously you get less
You
taken
get less
out,
taken out, but you have to pay them
but
back at the end of the year.
right. And I never had to do that. And so I'm probably going to go back to my W-4 and only put like maybe one dependent, or like $1,000 or whatever it is.
Actually,
It's
the
two
best
thousand
thing
dollars
probably
per
is just
dependent.
to just let it take out the full amount. So just claim no
Yeah,
dependents.
I probably will, because this is bullshit. Like, especially this tax season, we got robbed, absolutely robbed.
Yeah, that's not fun. It's really not.
No, it's constant though. It's constant stress. That's why, like, my wife and I are planning like summer projects to for free in our yard. I mean, obviously we're gonna have to pay for some like gardening tools that we don't have, and
Yeah.
maybe some topsoil here and there. We have to test the pH. We want to start a garden. We want to be outside more. We want to do stuff like that is free. Go to the beach. Go to a park. No movies. Limit shopping, and limit the expensive snacks that are out there and everything else. And the not buying booze helps a lot too. So that's out of the picture. But
Not buying the non-essential items, basically, it really
right.
helps. Even though there
And
are some things you really want from time to time where you can make a small exception, but I get it. Where you only
and
need.
freaking gas. Like, what the hell?
What do you pay for gas right now?
Last time I paid, it was 332.
No, ours is 329, so it's not like much of a difference. When I was
No.
down in Milwaukee, it jumped up to 359.
Yep.
It's
It
like
is
what the
terrible
fuck?
down south.
It is freaking
Like, and I make
30
sure that
cents
I buy
more.
gas up here before I go down to New Berlin and go down there, because there's no way I'm paying that.
No, shouldn't have to. I just not looking
No.
forward to it jumping up to $4.
When is it supposed to do that?
I'm gonna say probably around summer when people start traveling. You know it's gonna happen. You know it's probably gonna slowly go up as summer comes to near. I'm not gonna say it's gonna go to $4. It's probably gonna hit like 350, 360. That's pretty freaking close, anyways.
Yeah. No, you're
Actually,
right. Probably by Memorial Day it'll hit 380.
let's see here. I'm just gonna take a quick look at the prediction because I'm curious. Gas price predictions, blah blah blah. Expect gas prices to raise more. Go figure. Um, it's not even telling me the factors and the predictions. I just want to see where people are predicting it to be. Yeah, it doesn't even say on this website. That sucks. Get ready for more expensive driving season. Summer this season. Gas prices have surged more than 12% since the start of the year. Oh, I can't read that. Yeah. Well, go figure.
Yeah.
Regular
I mean,
gas, regular gallon of gas costs an average of 3.34, which is 10 cents more than a week ago and 22 cents more than last month. Crude oil, which accounts for 57% of what drivers pay for a gallon of gas, was trading at around $79 per barrel. It went up by about 9% in the past month. So yeah, that's why everything is just slowly jumping up in price. So it's getting worse.
yeah, that's another thing though. Besides the gas, it's the housing market too. It's not that it's just scary that there could be a possible crash by the time that my wife and I want to leave in the next like 5 years. But we can't sell now and take the massive profit, because where would we go? We would
Yeah.
be spending way more and blow all of our profits on a new place to live. And
Oh, I
honestly,
mean,
our and rent too is insane. So our mortgage is cheaper than a 2-bedroom apartment in Sheboygan right now. Not that I live there. Just saying that's a city I know that has high rent.
Yeah, actually, pretty much all cities have higher rent than mortgage.
But not if
Every
you have
place
a
you go.
modern. But not if you have a modern mortgage. Like for people who bought pre-pandemic, like us, we have a regular, a decent sized mortgage, and
Yeah.
people that are buying now are have a way higher mortgage.
Really? I guess I wouldn't. I mean, average mortgage rate's about 7.48% at 30 years fixed, which that doesn't tell me anything. I don't want the rate, I want the cost. Oh, wow, shit. So, from the Council for Community and Economic Research, 2022 annual cost of living index shows that the national average monthly mortgage rate or payment is 1768.
That's
Holy shit.
nowhere near what I'm paying. Nowhere near what I'm paying. I'm under a grand, folks.
That's a little more, that's like more than double what I'm paying. It's like, God, 1768. I'm actually kind of curious. I'm gonna do some or take a look at this because I want to know how much more it is. 1768.
But that's my point. We're paying
It's
less than a
2.2
grand.
times. It's 2.2 times
Yeah.
more than what I pay.
We're paying less than a grand in a mortgage because we bought at a decent time. And if we were to ever like move, it wouldn't make any sense.
No, probably not.
No.
At this point, your best bet is just to stay there. I don't think the rates are ever going to get better, but I know people need to do it. Um, and that's the unfortunate part is people need to move sometimes because they're in a shitty spot or
Right.
their family's just too big or whatnot and so on and so forth. Um, but it's rough. I think you have to definitely find a decent mortgage lender or loaner at that point, or somebody that's willing to really work with you, so you're not getting screwed on. Um, because that average right there is 1768, and that's just like looking all over the nation, which to me is kind of unfair because you think you've got California and New York or like those like the coasts, little higher living expenses. Or if you come into the Midwest, for example, I don't know. Like, I mean, the cost of living is a little different every depending on where you live and everything. But holy hell, those costs of living out on the coast, or for example, probably don't help that average.
No. Well, that's why they're moving away from there.
No, but no, the I think the economy is just shot right now, honestly. Um, because like you said, every like inflation has been crazy these past years. Um, and I don't think that COVID helped by any means. I think COVID. I mean, we're still at that recovery period from COVID, um, and that's why inflation has just kept going up and up and up because the businesses are still trying to recover. But the
Right.
problem with that is businesses are trying to recover, but we can't recover. They can't recover because we can't recover
Right.
because we don't make the money that we need to make to help them recover. Um, I don't know if we'll ever actually see a balance or a homeostasis again based on this, unless something truly changes. But who knows? I don't know what that change has to be, though. Like,
More wages.
how are you going to increase wages? I mean, one way to increase wages is to cut people, but guess what? People are wanting jobs.
How about having CEOs and leadership positions taking a pay cut when they don't need it?
I'm okay for that. It's a good solution. Is it realistic? Yes. Is it gonna happen? No,
Hell no.
because they want their money.
Yep. They want to have 3 different houses across the world and have Lamborghinis and Bentleys and stuff. They want to have that because that's what makes them happy.
Uh huh. They can assert their dominance by saying, "I'm a rich bastard and you're not."
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever. If the economy does recover, it'll be a day we're probably old and brittle and like, I remember back in my day, we sat there and bitched about the economy sucking our balls.
Yeah, right.
Or actually, it's the other way around. We were sucking the economy's balls trying to keep up with it. And then
Did
the
it ever
economy breaks
recover
down.
after 2008? The original housing crash of 2008?
I think it did. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
maybe a
sure.
little bit.
It
Back in like
it did.
maybe yeah, it did.
Um, yeah, everything. I mean, everything goes up and down as the economy keeps going up and down. But um, right now, I think we've hit that point though, with everything shutting down. Um, Basically, it just hurt the economy in general. So it's kind of like a mini Great Depression.
Yep.
I do honestly think though we're in a period of recession right now though.
Oh, agreed.
Recession, I think. I don't know if they're actually calling it a recession right now. Yeah. U.S. economy still faces a recession risk. Blah blah blah.
They're not going to officially say it because it's an election year.
Yeah, that's true. They'll probably wait till after.
Yep.
But I don't, neither president or anybody that gets voted into the president's office is not going to be able to help the economy for a little bit.
Nope. This folks, this election doesn't matter. Just so you know, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't. You're going to get
As
a
much as they want you to
president.
tell, want you to think it's going to matter, it doesn't matter who's in that seat. The president is not the one running the country, and you guys need to realize that.
Yep. We run the country, essentially. The Senate, the House really runs the country.
CIA.
CIA, yeah. Everybody that's behind the scenes essentially runs the country.
Yep.
You get to vote for your referendums in your state or your county that you're in. You have the control. We just always like to say that the president is still the face and they have control. Politics. I hate politics.
Me too.
But point being is that either president will use their ideas. They will promise you what they want you to hear or what you want to hear, and they will try to get what they want in through the House and the Senate. But guess what? It won't always happen unless the House and the Senate are the same and they agree upon what the president wants, which would basically be saying that, hey, the House, let's say, the Republican wins. Congratulations. Hopefully the House and the Senate are both Republicans because then it's going to get passed. Or everything stays Democratic. Or
Yeah.
for some reason, people are like, hey, what the fuck? Parties don't really matter anymore. But that's not true. Everybody's going to be a liberal or conservative. Well, let me take that back. Not everybody in the House or Senate is going to be liberal or conservative. It's going to be a mix. But at that point, even so, if it's a mixed House or a mixed Senate, you're probably not going to be able to agree on something.
Right.
Unless somebody from the opposing side is like, you know what? I like your point of view. And starts making a change. Because that's the biggest way we can change is by going, okay, yes, this is, as much as I may not agree with it or like it, let's see what happens.
Yeah. On that note, folks,
let's fix the economy. Let's fix the economy, and hopefully you guys aren't in a hard time, or if you are in hardships, you are not alone.
Yeah, you're not alone by any means. We're hanging on for dear life over here.
Even with the dual income, folks, it's not always
Yep.
easy. yes, I will. I will admit, I'd have to say we do fare. My wife and I and my children live comfortably, but by no means are we spending it and taking vacations left and right or anything like that. Um, we live in a smaller house. We do have some nice vehicles. Not saying we have like top notch vehicles, 2024s or 2025s by any means. Uh, but we have
But you're not driving shit boxes.
we're not
No,
driving lemons either
no.
by any means. Yeah, no. We get cars that reliably get us from point A to point B. Um, but yeah, so folks, without further ado, if you enjoyed this episode, let us know. We'd want to see more. But hopefully, you enjoy it. The economy blows parents in many directions because that's what it's really doing. We're being blown in different directions, and it sucks. It's like a vacuum sometimes.
Yeah, a lot.
But we'll see you all, folks, next time.